This is the Shelton Bumgarner show featuring Shiley and Jason.
Hi.
Jason is our guest for the evening. He is a content producer on Periscope. So Shiley, I will introduce myself, and then Shiley, you can introduce yourself.
Ooh.
I am Shelton Bumgarner. I am a writer, photographer, poet, and lyricist. And I am a Blab power user. I am sort of obsessed with Blab. I use it all the time. I have a morning show from about 10 until 11 every day of the week. And Shiley has agreed sometimes to be my co-host, but sometimes not. We are waiting. We are waiting on Sydney Shapiro, my co-host for the evening, but he's apparently in the DOA. He's apparently MIA. Okay, Shiley, introduce yourself briefly.
Briefly? Oh man, I'm not meant to be brief. Okay. My name is Shiley Hakimian. I am a do-gooder. I do what I love and I get paid for it. You can find me on Periscope and on Fiverr. You can hire me to do all sorts of good things for just $5. And you find me on Blab. Never made my own Blab, but I hang out at all sorts of different ones. I'm a network queen. So I like to meet people from all different backgrounds and see how we can magically work together and take over the world. That's my goal. Says. Anyway, follow me. Love me.
Okay, so let's preface our remarks. Everybody tweet this out, by the way.
I did.
Let's preface our remarks by Periscope is a revolutionary technology which is changing the lives of individuals all over the world in various ways. And in that, we give you a glimpse into the lives of the ordinary people. And as I have mentioned before, I believe that Periscope represents reality TV 3.0. 1.0 was when Richard Hatch won Survivor 20 years ago. Just calm down.
Survivor. Sorry, my favorite show. I'm sorry. Survivor.
Richard Hatch won Survivor 20 years ago. That was the moment in time when reality television became popular. Now, 2.0, reality TV 2.0 is now the Kardashians have made an industry out of making themselves famous for just doing nothing. And 3.0 is a democratization of reality television with Periscope. At this point, this is when I ask Jason, tell us a little bit about yourself and how it is that you came about using Periscope.
My name is Jason, also known as Editor Man Caves. And I got into Periscope because I was into a music artist named Kevin Seconds from a punk rock band named 7 Seconds. And I was into that band in the 80s, grew up with them. And I had always followed him. He kept his band together. And he was on Twitter one day saying that he was, I followed him on Twitter. So he was on Twitter and he's like, I'm on Periscope right now. And I said, what's Periscope? You know, so I went on there. And here I was in a van that he was driving, looking down the highway, and I started typing into my phone, like, are you Kevin Seconds? And he's like, oh, hi, Editor Man Caves. And that's kind of how I got into Periscope. In the sense, like, I'm a TV producer, an editor. I work in post-production. And once I saw Kevin on Periscope, he's just got a real good way about him. And I started to see, wow, I could like literally record his Periscope, record what he's saying, and I could almost make like a video diary of his life and what he's doing in terms of touring as a solo music artist. And I kind of did. I started to record his Periscopes. I found other Periscopes and started recording those. And I put together like a best of Periscope. And like overnight, my followers went from like 50 to 400, and it was really crazy. So now what I do is, essentially I started to find many, many people to work with, and I worked with them on shows on their own channel. And after a while, I was like, I'm working with so many people. What if we had just one channel that we could just put all of my friends on, all the people that I really like about Periscope, put them on one channel. And and Joe Sohedi, who runs the Bob Mob, he was like, let's do this. And we found a third guy. I like things in threes. So we found a third guy, and we just kind of went off and running. We hired 3 more who's in here, Sparkle Branding, the Sound of Boots, Lauren, and Tim Walker, who I believe he'll come at some point. And so now we have like a really cool group of 6 of us, and we just try to organize all the shows and do everything. And it's crazy because the channel has almost taken away the real Periscope for me, because I used to love just watching a bunch of different Periscopes, and now I'm busy with the channel and organizing shows, and I don't get to watch Periscope as much, if at all.
Okay, Shiley,
Yes.
ask some questions.
Ask some questions. Well, no, I got one of the questions answered. I heard everyone gets paid in love and paid in awesome, which is really cool. I like that model. I never even contemplated how creative people can get on Periscope, but the fact that like you can get multiple people on the same channel and like literally edit like who gets shown, I think is really beautiful, because one person has one kind of thing that they can do, or like they have a range, and having 3 possible ranges means the possibilities are really limitless. So that's phenomenal. I love it. What do I ask? I don't know. Let's see. What do I ask? No, that's amazing.
Okay.
First off, compliments.
Okay. Well, think of some questions while I ask some questions here. What do you think makes for good content on Periscope? You said, tell us about the difference between a live scoper and just your ordinary scoper. And maybe as an aside, Mallory, given that Sydney Shapiro is not here, you're free to jump in. What makes a good Periscoper, and how do you get more?
Ooh.
They just have to have this. It's really a je ne sais quoi. Like, it's an it quality that you really can't put a finger on. Once I saw Joe Sohetti, for instance, the guy who runs our Bob Mob, I just couldn't stop watching him, and he just had an interesting vibe about him. He kept things moving. He kept content interesting, and he had things that I like to kind of say takeaway things, where he says something, boom, I take it away, and I'm like, I can kind of use that in real life. He says another thing, and boom, I can kind of take that away. That's, to me, is kind of maybe the it quality that at least what I look for. And I found that, like, in Sparkle Branding, she's just got this quality that people love her on camera. Josh, my other partner, people love him on camera, and that's kind of what I tried to find, was just people that could kind of hold an audience and be able to interact with the community, and I try to make sure that everybody is, as at least the 6 of us, are very accessible to the community. And I think that's really important, to be able to have access to us all the time.
So do you know, are you aware of Camilo and Shane and Yassine? Are you aware of those guys doing their thing? They have prank calling perverts and all that stuff. Are you familiar with them or not?
I'm not, but I'm almost here to kind of always look for new talent and new bright stars. I think it's Shiley's rocking it out down there.
Me? You want me? What? I would never. I'm so flattered.
No, but I guess that's. I don't know that I'm always looking for that. You kind of just come across somebody, and there's like a magic that you just instantly kind of get. Like, you get this kind of vibe in your heart, this vibe in your soul, and you just feel something about them. And after like, I often will stay on a broadcast till they kill it. I love to me, that's a big test. And after they kill it, I'm like, dang it, I want more. So I try to go find them on Twitter. I go try to DM them and see what they're all about, see if they want to work together. Maybe watching their Periscope, I've come up with a couple of ideas just by watching them. And, it's like, I can't wait to get on Twitter and kind of find them and discuss something that I noticed, or something that I wanted to add, or maybe they wanted to hear my suggestion. Maybe they don't. Then they just hang up the phone on me.
So,
I have a question, a follow-up one.
Shiley, you asked that question.
Not yet?
I'm going to go look at the dog real quick. Okay, go.
All right.
Okay.
Jonathan is old with the dog.
Okay. So here's the question for you. So you said that you watch it from the beginning to the end, and if you you want to, he kept saying, give me more. So one way that I've had my good chunk of content in the beginning, and then as it fizzles, when it fizzles too much, I end it. Do you think that is it the best way to do it? Like, are you saying that the best way to do it is to have the whole piece perfect the whole way and cut it even if there's still action and activity? Like, what's your best advice on that for any scopers
to me? Yeah, I guess I'm coming at it from like an editor's standpoint where, I have to watch things over and over and over again, same thing over and over again, and I can kind of cut it up and make it so it's weird that I'm in this live TV kind of.
Yeah.
But it's and here's what it is if they catch my attention kind of right at the top of when I walk in there. Sometimes I'm coming in, they've already been on for 15 minutes. I will just really interact. I'll start asking questions, whatever it is. I'm interested, and I don't hold back from anything. Hey, Tim Walker's here. I said Tim Walker's one of our editor TV6. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
And I could do shout outs all night. You got Sean P in there, very early friends of mine. The first broadcast I was on with Kevin Seconds, Sean P was on there. It was his first broadcast as well, and we've kept very close friends over that. But that, I guess that's my kind of thing is you just see somebody and you kind of find interest in them and you start to see what they can do, see what they can ask questions, or see what, see in terms of what I might be able to ask. There was this one kid I found named Brandon Mack, and within 5 minutes I said, I guess we started talking about shaving. I guess he had a beard. I have a scruff a little bit. And I was like, so how often do you shave or whatever? And he's like, oh, what, he gives me an answer. I said, would you shave now? And he just runs into his bathroom and he starts shaving his face. And to me, it was just
That happened today.
I just love that. Like I can like get people.
That happened on
it's hilarious, and they're willing to do things.
Like a truth or dare kind of thing.
Yeah,
huh?
well, it's just fun kind of stuff. Like people have stuff in their fridge. I want to see what's in their freezer or whatever.
I love, so you just screw with people and you're like, how far are they willing to go? You create your entertainment. So this guy also shaved his head off.
Hey, Sydney. Yeah, I met Sydney just a moment ago in the Appear thing, a mid-jig.
So Sydney, tell us briefly about yourself, introduction. And you're muted.
Oh, or not. Or you be muted.
I am super, 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 super cool.
And you're muted.
His mic was off.
You're muted, dude. All right. Sydney, you're frozen and muted.
Frozen and muted.
All right.
I am frozen and muted. Oh, now it left.
All right. This is live TV for you, folks. Let's try again.
Live TV that we can influence. You can all influence this. Same way with Periscope. That is the magic. If you want to see something happen, ask it, and we can ignore it.
There we go. Okay, say something, Sydney. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
Sydney.
Jason, you're the outcast here. We're all wearing matching glasses.
Okay.
Oh, top that.
Right, frozen again. Okay. Okay, so tell us
Okay, we vote to evict Sydney.
What do you think is the future of Periscope? First of all, what do you think it's going to be the revolutionary technology that I think it's going to be? Where in the future we're all going to turn to Periscope instead of seeing
the new Twitter.
Is that what you think is going to happen?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, since the six of us are on editor TV, that's going to be the future. It's going to. I mean, these five people that I work with, it's crazy what comes out of them. Like I love it. I could go into our threads all day long and really just have the greatest time. Not even interacting. I could just read all the stuff that's going on. They're always coming up with different show ideas, and we'll talk about show ideas. We'll spitfire a bunch of different ideas, things that'll help out. Music here, music there. But then it goes crazy. Sometimes they'll go, what's your favorite superhero? If one of the editor TV6 was Hulk, who would it be? If one of the editor TV6 was Iron Man, who would it be? It's just a really fun kind of environment. And I could see that as being the future. I don't ever want this, and I call it the band. I call it I come from kind of music background and being in bands, and I call the editor TV6. I call us the like our own band, and I never want the band to break up, no matter how dysfunctional we get. We should always stay together, and I truly hope that can happen.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
True story.
True story.
Oh,
go ahead, Chai.
Oh, so I was going to ask you this. So you have a band, and now we know in the history of music that bands come together, they break apart, they have issues, they have to love each other, they have to collaborate, even in difficult times. What are some challenges you've had to overcome working with this crew that you've accumulated of good people?
I can't say. I cannot say what challenges I've overcome.
It's good. It's that good. It's that good. They're so good. Well, that's beautiful.
No, it's really cool. It's we've really kind of allowed each other to kind of get to know each other a lot, and it's really kind of a cool thing. I talk on the phone with some of them. We go into the chats and talk. There's messages that go out all the time. It's just a really fun group. Everybody's got a really kind of good attitude. Jables, Sparkle Branding, Sound of Boots, Lauren, and Tim Walker. They come on and they have like a little kind of thing that they do on Blab with just the three of them, and they're just messing around and having a really good time. And sometimes I jump in. Sometimes this is what's even really cool is like literally the first guy that ever followed was that music artist Kevin Seconds. And now it's cool. He's coming out and doing things on Blab. He's like, I want to be on Blab, but I want to make sure I'm on with you, Jables, or you, Jason, because I know you guys are the best and stuff. And I actually went over the summer. I went to go see Kevin and his band 7 Seconds at 3 different cities. And it was great. Like, I'm a kid. Like I was like 15 years old when I was into 7 Seconds. I'm 45 years old now, and I'm sitting there. It was the first time I ever got to see them live, and he knows me through Periscope. I know him through Periscope, and after the first time I ever saw them live, he's like, you want to come get hot dogs? So I went and got some fucking hot dogs with those guys. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is the greatest thing. I had to kind of keep it cool. I was like, well, I've got to be cool about this. Like, I can't be such a fangirl on them all.
Right, I know.
Okay.
I'm fangirl.
Guys, I have to note we have not only do we have Jason, our celebrity, but we also have Elisa Jordana, who has her own show on Spreecast. She is something of a celebrity unto herself. She is I know
Elisa Jordana from the Howard Stern show.
Yeah, she is in the audience. This is a big deal for us. We mere mortals to have her in our presence. If she wants to jump in and ask some questions, that would be spectacular. So this is a family entertainment, but I do have to ask you, why do you think that for want of a better term, porn is so popular on Periscope? And you're a content producer. Do you have any opinion on that?
Yeah.
My opinion on porn being popular on Periscope is that porn is popular anywhere, and it's just sex sells. Sex, guns, violence, blood, all those are things that are proven in the market of live TV. I used to work for the X Games, and we were taught that in the meetings that, when you have crash sections, when you have guys falling off skis or falling off snowboards and almost cracking their necks, that stuff sells. That people will tune in for that kind of stuff. It's the talking heads that are not the things that sell. The talking heads are the things that people tune away from. Maybe with the crashes and stuff, with the X Games, that could kind of equate to like violence or blood, because that stuff kind of happens. Guys cut themselves or whatever, and that goes along with sex and guns and stuff. Again, it's violence and sex. All this stuff just sells, and it's not something that I kind of go for. But we have something called a Peri War on Editor TV. Yeah.
Can you talk about the Bob Squad?
Guns or anything? Maybe we should. We should have knives and guns.
Talk about the Bob.
Yeah, what are your shows?
Yeah,
Tell us about
your shows, the Bob Squad, and all that.
The Bob Squad. So we have this show. Popular show is called It's Bob Mob Time, and it's a Bob Mob. Yeah. And it's a way for female broadcasters. If anybody knows Periscope, they know that the female broadcasters, they go up live, and a whole bunch of crazy creeper trolls come in, and they go, "Open your bobs." And I think that kind of derived from open boobs, but they just spell it wrong, so it became open bobs.
Oh,
exactly.
I
don't understand the open bobs, but
because they can't spell boobs. You got a notification saying you can't spell boobs.
So I was driving home one night, and Joe Sohetti, he periscoped, and he said his girlfriend was sleeping next to him, and he has to be quiet, but he wants to take a group of us into a a certain person's broadcast and have all of us type open bobs. So there's about 7 of us that all went into this broadcast and wrote open bobs. And what we noticed was that it's this thing that, like, it's these female broadcasters that get these comments in their own broadcasts. It's then their way of being able to go back to men and kind of get revenge on them and say, open bobs, your own bobs. And it's hilarious because the guys love it. The guys lift up their shirts and show bobs, and then boom, we're out. We go back to Joe Spavini on Editor TV.
So how much time do you edit your stuff? How much time do you spend editing your material on Periscope?
We don't edit a single thing on Periscope. We try to streamline it behind the scenes and before the show goes on. And that's kind of the editing that goes on is we're trying to kind of like figure out what we're going to say, let's make sure we don't repeat it. But it's always good to update every 10 minutes or so. And when new people come into the room, to update and tell everybody what's going on. And just make it as streamlined as possible and make it fun and have information there that's takeaway, but also interact with the viewers.
Okay, Mallory, tell us a little bit about yourself and then ask some questions, please.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me. And I'm so happy to see a new face because we all see each other way too much. You know.
Yes.
I'm in Oklahoma City and I'm in digital media. That was my degree, and I'm a very misunderstood person on here.
What is your question, Mallory?
My question is, what are the most creative uses that you've seen on Periscope? Something that's not.
Ooh.
I love kind of game shows. One of my favorite shows on Periscope is a big guilty pleasure of mine. Is this show called Post-it No? Has anybody heard of Post-it No?
No, what is it?
It's really a simple show. It's just a big board. It's a big white board. And they just write the word no behind. And so they put up about 36 Post-its, and they put the word no behind every single word, behind every single Post-it. And behind one Post-it is the word yes. And so you're trying to find a Post-it that has the word yes. And it's so interactive. And I fell in love with that game when I first saw it. I saw that back in like May. And it's just a fun game. And the fact that the viewers were able to interact and get picked, that was something that I really, really wanted to tap into.
Ooh.
And so a show that we do on our channel is called the Dub Smash Scope Awards. And if anybody doesn't know Dub Smash is an app you can get on your phone.
I love
Dub Smash. You should do Dub Smash. It's so cool. When I was first shown this app, I saw so much potential in it. It's basically you can record yourself to a real clip, a real movie clip, a real song. You can record up, about 1 to 10 seconds. And I saw this cool stuff that people could do, real production value type of stuff. And I said, wouldn't it be fun to kind of have an award show, almost like an Oscars, where we have people come to my house and we have them dress all, elegant and in dresses and as if they're going to an award show. And how about we have a red carpet show for them? How about we have an award show? We have nominations. We have 4 different nominations for each Dub Smash category. We have a best overall, best male, best female, best group, duo, and we have just so much fun with it. But then we added a pre-show that we do. We have interviews with all kinds of Dub Smashers on there. And the thing that I thought was the key to having that Dub Smash Award show was to be able to have, if you're going to have 4 nominees for each category, you make sure that the viewers can nominate or can pick the winner right in their comments. So we put 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then the viewers just pick whichever one they want, whichever one is their favorite. And it's cool. I thought it would become a thing where people would kind of go in there and whoever has the most popular Periscope would be able to win. But it almost seems that the true winner actually wins. Like the people really do vote for the best one. And it's been a super cool one. We did our first annual Dub Smash on September 18th, I think, and we're running our second one on January 22nd, 23rd. And my idea for 2 days was, first of all, I knew that the Dub Smash Awards would be something kind of cool, and that people would want to come out. So, we have like 15 people are going to come to my house for at least one of those days. And so now I've made it into 2 days. But what we've done is we've done East versus West. So we've split the country in half, and we have the East Coast Dub Smashers go up against themselves, and that's going to be day one. Then the West Coast Dub Smashers are going to go up against themselves. That's also going to be day one. And then we're going to combine the East winners against the West winners, and then come back on day two and have another Dub Smash Awards. But the other thing that I thought would be cool about it is whenever you see an award show like an Emmy Awards or an Oscar Awards, what do they do after the show? They go and they drink. Have all these super cool parties. Well, the cool thing about having a Dub Smash Scope Awards at my house is I can have everybody drink right in my house, and it's a safe place, and everybody can go and broadcast. And to me, you're getting not only the award show, you're getting the interaction, you're getting the red carpet, you're getting the pre-show, but you're getting the post-show, you're getting the parties that everybody's going to be at, and you get to see all your favorite Periscopers together, and we all act like knuckleheads.
Unfiltered too, it looks like. Perfect.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Actually, that sounds very interesting.
Who's in Jersey? Let's go. Let's have a party.
I know you said that there was a certain je ne sais quoi that people have that make them good or bad scopers, but there must be some specific things that I'm sure our audience would like to know that you can think of.
That's the mystery.
Some specific things that they can do to build followers, other than being a hot chick, like say Mallory. Is there any way you can?
It's funny. I actually have no idea.
Brilliant though. You can't let Mallory down.
I truly have no idea how to build followers. I really don't. I know that there are Periscope accounts from some pretty big Periscopers, and they talk about how to build followers and kind of how to promote your scope. Well, what we do on Editor TV is we actually kind of do parodies of those accounts. We do something called Demote Your Scope, where we if this is your Periscope, we're going to teach you how to not get followers, how to lose followers. And one of the things is Joe will go up to his Joe does the example of it, and he'll go, here's a way to not get followers. Go up to your Periscope like this and go, hey guys, I'm just trying to read comments, and you just make yourself completely like it doesn't even look good. And then and at the end he has like a top 5 things to do to demote your scope. And at the end of the scope, he blocks about 4 or 5 people. And he goes, well, the ultimate way to demote your scope is block people. And he goes, who wants to be blocked? And he comes out and he just starts blocking people. Of course, it's only for a day or so, but it's hysterical.
Really?
Yeah.
I block people all the time. I didn't know that was a no-no. They ask for bombs, and I block
anybody. Joe plays with the trolls. I have about 150 blocks.
Yeah, I have lots of blocks too because people ask really stupid questions on Periscope for some weird reason. So, ladies, do you have any questions or not?
Oh yeah. Well, unless you have one, Mallory, I can hold off. Mine is a big one.
I adore that concept. I love, even though I'm in digital media, I love making fun of people in that environment and how salesy they are. And I go off on the tangents about this all the time. So I think a parody is the perfect way. I don't know why I haven't been doing it. Well, I kind of have. I've made like certain characters that are like emulate the, guru woo-woos. But I think that's absolutely brilliant. Just wanted to.
All right, Charlie, do you have any
love it?
Tolkien on Periscope? You guys know Jason. So he does a blast your cast. We actually have asked him to do a parody on our channel. Him himself do a parody of his own show, and we want to call it Blast Your Cats. We just thought that would be fun.
Oh my God, that's really funny.
Okay, Charlie, what you got?
Also, true ratings getter.
Wait, he's got some good info.
Camera.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, this is a big question, and it was one that was brought up here on Blab yesterday. Mevi just came out, which is parallel to Periscope, different. And what they do is they monetize right away. Periscope, I think, is still trying to figure out how they're going to monetize. What do you think about monetizing your scope? It sounds like maybe it's a possible dream for you, but I don't know. You tell me.
I got into Periscope for the love of what was going on there, for the quality of it, for the people, for the stories, for the life scope, for the games. for just top 10 lists. People do cool things on there. Characters, people that can read comments super good and super fast. And so I kind of created the channel so I could be able to put all those people into one place, one-stop shop. I never thought of monetizing it. My true dream or whatever is to just have good quality content, good quality fun content. I never thought of monetizing it. I don't know if I guess I don't. The editor,
That's beautiful.
us 5 or 6 of us would probably slay me for saying this, but I don't give a fuck about the money. Like, I have so much fun doing it. I have so much fun in our chat room because it's just a great. I call it our office. I have such a great time in there that's worth it for me to do it. Yes, it does take away from family work, from family. Yes, it does take away from work. But if you learn to segment that stuff and kind of, make each thing its own segment and kind of make each thing important to you, you can kind of juggle all those things. So it's always been quality entertainment that has been something that has driven me. Never money. I've never really. Yeah, I mean, I have a job. I edit. I got to pay the bills, but the money doesn't interest me. If it comes, great. It would just be a great way to, in a sense, have that thread that I call our office. Maybe we could have a real office one day where we can all go and sit at a table and have the same kind of conversations that we have in that thread, and be able to create content. It's funny, like a lot of my stuff is like I'll be sitting here in my basement. I'll go, man, if I had Joe Sohetti here, I could do this. Joe Sohetti is one of my partners. If I had Sparkle Branding here, I could do this. If I had Josh here, I could do this. It's just been these things that if I had all those people right here, I could do stuff with them. And so again, it's always been about quality content and just having fun and creating things that that I feel like I want to draw an audience to.
That's really beautiful. I commend you for that. That was super honest, and I appreciate that. You really are looking out for the fans, and and for your sharing good content. And
yes, definitely.
That's amazing. Good for you.
Ladies, be thinking of questions phenomenal. As I ask this question, please. One thing I've noticed is that Periscope seems to have a lot of engagement in the sense that you can get people to do things. I noticed that Pickles, when she first came to Blab, she got like 30 people to go from Periscope to Blab just by saying, please come to Blab and talk to me on Blab. I can't even get anyone to open the door for me, much less switch platforms. So can you explain why do you think that is it because of that it's sort of there's an intimacy that you have using your phone that maybe you don't have in other forms of media? What do you think about that?
It's exactly what you said. It's an intimate object. I mean, I've been told this, so I can give somebody else credit for this. But there's 2 things that people never want you to touch. Is women, for instance, they never want you to touch their purse. They never want you to touch their phone.
Don't.
The phone is a very intimate object, and you're basically holding this phone close to you, and you're sitting there watching somebody's face and watching them do stuff. So you're kind of maybe interested in doing some crazy things or doing some silly things. We have a show on the channel called As the Scopes Turn, and it's basically it's an interactive soap opera, or if you want to call it a scope opera, and so it's really it's groundbreaking. It's very interactive. Right on Periscope, we will have people kind of meet up. And they will actually just say, so somebody goes, I want to marry that person. I want to marry that person. And then, boom, they're married. They're married right on there. And when I first watched all this stuff happen, I was like, we could do this on the channel. If we kind of throw in a little bit of soap opera music here and there, if we give some drama music, if we give some fun music, some silly music, some sad music, if there's a breakup, if there's a divorce that's going on, it's all there. And, we do it on Editor TV, I think, every Tuesday and Thursday. And, again, it's just super fun, and it's really free and fun. A lot of people meet each other. And it's funny. Like, anybody that comes in the room, you literally just become a character. We've had people that, they just want to be kind of regular characters in the show. But we've also had people who go, well, I want to be a vampire slayer. And they're just kind of coming up with super cool characters that they can interact and do things with. But what is extended from that is we then have a chat room that has all of those people that are kind of in the Scope Opera in this one chat room. And what we've done is we've had kind of like a darkness or so come over the Scope Opera, and the darkness, the Dark Lord of the Scope Opera has started capturing other people from the light side of the Scope Opera, and they've kidnapped them, and we've done dramatizations where we'll have one of our characters pretend that they're in a trunk, and we'll be like, see, I've got them captured in the trunk, and so if you want them out of the trunk, you must do these 10 demands, and we'll make different periscopers do 10 different demands, and they'll have to periscope it, and they have to put the hashtag of the show in there, and then all those things get collected, and then that person gets released. But kind of the beauty of it, if you really think about it, is just the fact that we're creating this interactive show. It gives people the excuse to it gives them actually free content that they can go on their own channel. They can go on their own channel and have content to talk about. Sometimes people don't know what to talk about. People don't know exactly what to do on Periscope. Well, we give them that reason. We give them that option to be able to go on their own channel, and they can go and do a funny demand. That they can go on the street and have people talk about the Scope Opera, or they can I don't even know anybody else. Who knows some of the demands that were, yes, trunk scopes are still a thing. Somebody just asked if trunk scopes are still a thing. We have another show we do, which is called Trunk Time Scope. And it's basically you get in the trunk for about 15 minutes and
oh my gosh, that's awesome.
The trunk, you kind of find some silly things in your trunk. I found 6 umbrellas in my trunk, and I opened them all up in my trunk. You play some music, you interact with the viewers, which to me is the biggest key to Periscope. You got sometimes they have some lights on in the back. They're wearing glowing glasses. It's just this real kind of creative thing that they've done with Trunk Time. And usually we get about a dozen people to go in their trunk, and it's about a 3-hour show, and they're all every 15 minutes somebody else is going up.
All right, ladies, do either one of you have a question?
That's amazing.
Can I comment that resurrects the inner child in me that never wanted to forfeit being in playtime. Everything about it. I love that you're using it in such innovative ways. That boggles my mind. And how do we get in? How can we be a part of these things? Because it sounds like so much fun.
You're a pioneer. You're really a pioneer. I mean, this is a new territory. Periscope is a new territory, and you have found a way to pioneer. Okay,
this is where the nerd in me comes out. What do you think about?
It wasn't out before.
What do you think about this? The proverbial silly season has arrived in politics. Do you think that Periscope will be used
debates
in wacky ways in a political sense?
What kind of parodies on political?
No, I'm saying, will it be used for, when I say wacky, I mean innovative ways politically? Could you see Bernie Sanders using it to address the audience in a direct way, maybe that would not otherwise?
Some people have.
I don't even
Carly Fiorina did it.
Bernie Sanders is. Shelton, are you trying to pitch a show to me? I'd love to hear. And Valerie, to answer your question, in terms of getting involved, you just DM us at the Editor TV, or DM any of us. You can DM at Sparkle Branding, at Tim Walker VZW is right in there, at sound_of_boots, at AEC Josh, at Joe Sohetti. The beautiful thing about our Editor TV 6 is that we make sure that all 6 of us are very accessible to the community. And so, we're always answering questions. We're booking, we do a coffee scope every Wednesday and Saturday. And so it's basically kind of like Trunk Time, where we get people to just drink coffee. We have somebody go up, and then and 15 minutes later, that person gets off, somebody else goes up. And we do this thing where I think we had 19 broadcasters go up today, all in between about 7:30 in the morning till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. and they all have different varieties of coffee and different things to talk about. They goof on all of us on the channel, and it's just a matter of having fun and being interactive and kind of, I had one woman, this is kind of cool. I had one woman this morning. She's a caricaturist, Kathy Nolan, and she basically drew me, which was kind of neat. So that was the character she
Oh, wow. That's really
Whoa,
nice.
that's so cute. You could use that on social media. and
She
stuff.
did that on Coffee Time. And, this guy says,
Oh, I love
I'm going to
her.
be the best one on Periscope. My channel's the best. Come watch me. Come enjoy all the shows. Yeah.
That's cute. So she does this on her scope. She literally she draws pictures. Is that what she does on
Yeah.
Periscope?
Yeah.
That's
It's
great.
really cool.
I want one.
She's fun.
And it's
At
free?
Kathy Nolan Art.
Here, I'm going to try to write it down.
Okay, ladies,
At-
be asked thinking up questions. I have a question. I know perhaps you don't know Jason, and you don't use Blab as much as you use
I'm a man.
Periscope. But what you do know of Blab? Can you think of any kind of contrast to compare kind of stuff you can think of when it comes to content production for the two different mediums?
Oh my, it's totally another beast.
Well, do you know enough about Blab to be able to give some opinion about the difference in content creation for the two?
Okay, one thing that we feel that we can do is I've always fantasized about having a cooking show on our editor channel.
Oh, we're sitting.
But cooking shows have, the fact that a cooking show does have the takeaway element, that kind of makes it a viable thing to have on the channel, because you can go learn what you're doing, learn what this person is cooking, and you can kind of go into your own kitchen and be able to do that. But the thing with content is, in a cooking show, you have kind of this point where it's here, and then it kind of takes a dip, and then it goes back up, and it kind of takes a dip. Well, I want to try to make it where it's just streamlined all up on the top. And so what you could kind of do is you could have a host on Blab, and then you could have 3 different cooks on Blab in the 3 different windows, and you see what they're doing, and you go, window number 3, I like what you're doing. Why don't you go on Periscope now onto Editor TV and show us kind of more of what you're doing. Talk about the ingredients. Talk about what you're going to put together, and tell us why you use those ingredients, what this ingredient does, why it's good for this. Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? Is it just taste, flipping great? What's the again? And so what you could do is you could pick and choose whoever is cooking on these 3 different Blabs. Now go live and we like what you're doing on window number 2 or window number 4. There's many ways to kind of use Blab.
That's genius.
What we could do with the with the
really
Scope
smart.
Opera, you could have a host, and you could have 3 of us kind of interact with each other and almost kind of improv, and that could kind of be fun things that you do because you're in your character for the Scope Opera. You could do lip sync shows on here where you have the host be the host.
Oh God, drag queen.
You have window number 2 is going to go, and they're going to do a lip sync, and you're going to go do your thing. And basically, the hands, whatever those things are, the feel ups or whatever,
Props.
the props, I guess.
Props.
Right, props. Whoever has the most props at the end is the winner of the lip sync contest.
And that's engagement right there. That's magically engaging.
Yeah.
Magically delicious.
You really know entertainment and what captivates people. I feel like you have the sense for it, and I guess that's from all your history. I think a late night talk show would be funny, to literally have somebody on doing a band, a monologue, and then an interview. Use the other 2 as an interview platform. There's a lot you could do, and
you figured out so much of it.
Yeah, I tell you, it's not even me. I literally would not even have these answers if it wasn't for the other five of us.
Hashtag teamwork.
They're really
Teamwork
really
makes the dream work.
Ladies, do you have questions? Please.
I do. Okay, so you can wave your magic wand and make features appear to either Blab, Periscope, whatever. What feature would you magically want to appear to add to the amazing work that you're doing?
You're saying the feature?
Technical features, like we got hearts and we got props. What feature would you add? Technical feature we think would add to what you're doing?
Somebody told me the other day, if anybody knows Lulu, Joy's a Girl 555 on Periscope, She was hanging out with me the other day, and she's like, the one thing that I wish Periscope would have, because the videos are gone in 24 hours, which it really, on many levels, is a crime. There's so much amazing stuff that goes on in Periscope, and that's why I started capturing it, because I'm like, I got to curate this stuff. This stuff is so good, and then it's gone. And obviously, people use Catch. We use Catch.me to capture that stuff, but it doesn't have the same kind of vibe as a real Periscope. And so her suggestion was, you should out of if you've got 400 broadcasts, you should be able to go back in your log of broadcasts and just find one or two that you want to kind of put up for another 24 hours. You should be able to do that.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So keeping him going.
Fast forward and rewind. So that.
Yeah, that was good.
Mallory, do you have a question?
Do you see that Facebook Live as being a threat or no?
Ooh, that's a good one.
No, I've actually tweeted that if somebody doesn't take Blab seriously, I feel that it's going to be kind of a wasteland of shit. No offense. I just think that people really need to kind of do something with Blab. And
speaking of Facebook Live.
Oh, well, Facebook Live, I've heard about it. It's something kind of new. But after I got on Periscope, I literally left Facebook in the dust. Facebook to me was kind of, you put up a comment or you put up a post and you go back, a few hours later and people either like it or they make comments on it. Periscope was kind of an instantaneous Facebook. Your face is right on there. You're talking to people. You're giving your thoughts. You're kind of posting your thoughts right in there. People are commenting. There's such an interaction. The hearts are the likes. So I felt no need to ever go back to Facebook. So I think it'd be interesting to find out about what Facebook Live is like. But I guess I kind of have a real fun community over on Periscope. And so I don't have that on Facebook. So I would only just want to stay with I made another tweet the other day. I would rather just stay with Periscope. And excuse my language, but I did say Facebook can fuck right off.
It sucks. It's no comparison. And also you're kind of shackled by your past and how your family knows you, how your friends know you. That's not a bad thing, but I think Periscope gives you an opportunity to sort of just be silly and playful and in a way that like maybe you don't want your high school teacher to know or something like that.
Yeah, that's an interesting interesting dynamic in that Periscope is generally people you do not know. You might meet them through Periscope, but you don't generally know them to begin with. Whereas Facebook is people that you do know. And I have the scenario whereby you make friends with a woman through Facebook, and then you go on a date with her, and you come back and get drunk, and you do a Facebook Live video, and you talk about the date, and then she ditches you because she says, "Oh my God, what a crazy weirdo." And whereas on Periscope, she probably is more likely to be accepting of whatever you say because she met you through Periscope to begin with. What do you think about that kind of scenario?
Well, first of all, I'm really glad that was recorded because that sounds like a show in itself. Being able to go, and Shelton, is that something that you do? Do you go on Facebook, you find a woman, you go out on a date, and she comes back, and I mean, that's a show right there. And I mean,
Facebook
Live show.
I'm just saying, if I come home drunk, who knows what I want to say on Facebook? That's all I'm saying.
I want to know.
Yeah, I've gotten crazy on Periscope. I wouldn't say that I've been drunk on Periscope, but I've definitely been a little buzzed. Yeah, you guys know that there's a movie being made on Periscope called Start Broadcast. Have you guys heard of that?
No, tell us about it.
Oh my gosh, you have all the secrets here. Tell me how I'm going to spend the next 80 years of my life watching these things. I'll take it because
no. So a buddy of mine, Alex Cardoza, he's got a movie called Start Broadcast, and it's about Periscope. It's about kind of people who hit the button Start Broadcast for the first time, and really kind of a cool idea for a movie. And I'm super excited for him to put that out. So he came to my Dub Smash Awards in September, and he and I had a ton of Fireball shots. And And we had it's basically antifreeze. I've gotten off of Fireball and I drink now Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire, which is just less antifreeze. But so Alexis and I got pretty buzzed at the award show, kind of the after party, and we had a sponsor there that was giving us chocolates. It was Creative Candies, and she was supplying all the chocolate and candies for that night. She made awards that were shaped as chocolate, like almost Oscar-looking awards that were chocolate inside. And so she supplied us all this great candy. So at the end of the night, Alexis and I were doing broadcasts on like, let's have sex with our Oreo chocolate covered Oreos, like, and we're just licking them and being goofy, just kind of eating them and just loving them. But I remember just labeling. I remember titling the broadcast "Sex with Chocolate" or "Sex with Oreo."
Oreo sex,
bring the viewers in and try to have fun. But so that was kind of my introduction to Alexis in person, and he and I've become close friends. Then after that, and he's told me nothing about. He told me everything about his Movie Star broadcast. I can't wait for you guys to see it. It should be probably a couple hundred days. In less than a year, it should be out. And catch it as quick as possible, because you don't want to have to wait for it to get on Netflix. But if you don't catch it in the theaters, heck, you're going to be able to see it on Netflix, and it's going to be about Periscope. And let's see, maybe we can make more movies about Periscope. We should make a Bob Mob movie.
This should be like a thing.
He travels across the country and he gets together with all of the Bob Mob victims and all of the people in the Bob Mob.
No.
Travel cross country, and we just rule the country, headed by Joe Sohetti and the rest of the Bob Mob.
Ladies, be thinking of questions that I asked this one. Do you think that, like, in the future, because I found myself at the bookstore, and I was using my phone to Periscope, and I realized that, like, if you didn't know what I was doing, you would think I was completely bonkers, which I may in fact be completely bonkers.
Yeah, you might.
But
be. I feel you.
But if you didn't know, like, do you think in the future that you'll find at bars and stuff, people will be just sitting there talking to their phones instead of talking to people around them? I mean,
I've done that.
What
before.
do you think, Jason?
Well, yeah, just the fact that we're having all these fun parties. They're also having the Periscope Summit where they're broadcasting themselves drinking and having fun and stuff, and it's kind of a real light atmosphere. And yeah, I could see people at bars having you could do a pass the bar Periscope, where say it's like Applebee's or something. Everybody's at Applebee's and they want to, maybe they're on a date or they're with a group of people, and then there's another group of people at another Applebee's. Well, that could be something that's sponsored all by Applebee's. You keep passing it all night through different Applebee's across the country. Nice 10-15 minute broadcast, crazy things going on, interacting
like
with different viewers, and then pass it to the next Applebee's, down the road or an hour away or a couple hours away or an hour difference in a different state.
Whoa.
So, ladies, do you have any questions?
That's really
any
cool.
questions, ladies?
No, it sounds like Snapchat, kind of, with the Snapchat stories. Like, you get a little snippet about stuff. Well, look at what's happening at Applebee's. You can catch a little scope about the culture of the atmosphere wherever it is. And that's a really cool idea, because I've seen a lot of these brands, like, fail on Periscope. A lot of these brands will have their, like, fancy hashtags. And it'll literally be, like, MTV. Like, who is running their MTV one? It's just a bunch of people screwing around.
Mallory.
And I'm like, come on.
Mallory, you seem like you might have a question, Mallory.
Yeah, I heard earlier you saying about the je ne sais quoi that makes a successful Periscoper. But even if they do have it, I feel there's no rhyme or reason. But do you think there's a method to the madness of predicting how successful a broadcast is going to be? Are there ever people that are amazing, that are unrecognized? Like, is there a way to predict or, plan a successful Periscope?
I don't know. It's interesting because I don't exactly know. That's kind of the idea of kind of a je ne sais quoi. You don't know what it is. You just know that it's something, and you know that you want to keep tuning in, and you know that they can interact. One of the first people that ever interacted with me that was he was named Chris Dofer, and or Chris is a good buddy of mine now, and he literally did nothing but interact with me. I literally hit the world button. It was the first time I hit the world button, and I went into this broadcast, and it was just this real sweet guy in front of a brick wall, and he literally interacted with me for 2 full hours about whatever, and I started asking him questions, and I started talking about one of the things that really attracted to me about certain people on Periscope was that they would block. I never saw a block before, and the first time I had seen anybody block anybody on Periscope, I was like, oh my! There was such an energy to it, and so I started talking about that in his broadcast, and he goes, oh well, this person right there, they block like crazy, and I was like, well, how many blocks do you have? And they're like, well, I've already blocked, 300 people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have 3 blocks. You blocked 300 people? You start to get kind of into that. I know Princess Uma, one of our talent on the channel. She blocks. I think she has 3,700 blocks. I mean, it's crazy how many blocks she has.
It's like a challenge.
But she does an amazing thing now with blocks where she will literally, who's that?
59. That's me, 59.
59 blocks. Well, that's very, very good. But
I have over 100.
So what Kim does is she'll actually, if she can tell that there's a troll in the room or an egg or something, she will start playing the theme from Jaws. And sit there with her finger and start going, oh, and the music will start going, and she'll be like, what's up with you? You want a private? Who are you? Come out and play. And she'll kind of like throw her finger up there with the Jaws music and like kind of doing this. And then right when that person comes up and right at the perfect spot of the music where it's this crescendo, she will block them. And it's just this like great moment. That's something super creative that she's done on Periscope. And actually what's funny is with the fact that Periscope is this medium that you might get in trouble for playing, let's say, the Jaws theme, she's actually messaged me and said, do you know of any production music that you use in your TV shows that is Jaws-like that I can kind of use so I don't get in trouble for using the Jaws theme sometime down the road?
Great, cool.
Okay. There's an issue in the chat room about me and my Hot Pockets. I eat a lot of Hot Pockets. And people want me to monetize my eating of Hot Pockets, and I think the best way to do it would be to ping Hot Pockets in the title of my Periscopes. Maybe they'll notice, and maybe I can make some money. What do you think about that? Is that a viable option for me?
You'd have to do something crazy with Hot Pockets. You couldn't just eat them. Can you like I come from a very jackass sort of background, so can you like break open a Hot Pocket and like throw it at yourself or something, or have somebody throw it at you?
I just had to introduce that concept because Jordy
maybe
was determined to ask that
glasses. That might be kind of funny. Just walk around with Hot Pockets as your glasses, like, hey everybody, welcome to Periscope. Well, I'm Shelton Bumgarner, and just have to, here's my Hot Pocket glasses.
Okay.
You never know.
You never know. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up real quick. Anybody got any questions? Anybody have any questions at all? I really enjoyed this. Ladies, do you have any quick questions or anything? Nope.
I love it. I think you're amazing. Keep doing your good.
Okay, Jason, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. You've been a great host. You've been a great guest. A great host. You've been a great guest. I've really enjoyed it. I've learned a lot about content production on Periscope. Thank you very much for your time, and I will end the broadcast.
Bye.